Good morning, everyone. My beloved Redondo Beach. How's everybody doing? To those of you here in the sanctuary and those of you that are streaming online, welcome, welcome, welcome. And guess what? The birdies in my geranium pot have hatched. Yay! That's a reason to stand up and sing, isn't it? Come on with me.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we're gonna be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. One more time. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound when we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound when we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound when we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound when we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Well done.
Excellent.
Well done.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
We are so glad that so many people are here today joining us online to be a part of this wonderful, wonderful service with our guest speaker today. We're really excited that you're here. And remember, we are Redondo Beach, Center for Spiritual Living. We are a place where people come to have their lives transformed, to have their lives changed, and to know that we are all so much better for your presence every single Sunday. So we're really, really glad you're here. So I'm going to slip on into the announcements. We have some great activities coming up, and we're just sharing some of them in the announcements today. Today, the drumming circle is meeting after service, our wonderful drumming circle led by May Ruth McCants. She is also going to be working with people who are going to be part of our talent show on May the 18th. So if you're one of those people, check in with Ruth if you already haven't, and just let's have a wonderful, wonderful planning session for that. Now, classes that we have coming up, Reverend Kathy Sinfield will be facilitating a certified class called Mental Equivalence, Keys to Manifesting. It's an in-person class, and it's for 5 weeks, and it's in Richelieu Hall meeting on Thursday, May the 9th, beginning on Thursday. You do not have to buy the book for the class. It's included in all of the materials. So remember, too, we want you to know that their scholarships are available. Please check in at the desk and find out everything that you need. We have wonderful singers in our community. Some of you are out there right now. And our choir, which is rehearsing for the next time the choir presents itself, is meeting on the second Sunday of the month. So that's next Sunday after service. So remember, those of you who are singers, join us for that wonderful choir that we are putting together. The Sunshine Kids Club. Have you heard about that? The Sunshine Kids Club is our new name for our youth program here at Redondo. We are really excited. There are more families coming with children, and we are growing this particular part of our center. So if you would love to just assist in this in any way, boy, we can always use that help. Check in at the desk and just let them know your name and contact information, and we'll get back with you. But in addition to that, we're going to have an orientation on May the 18th. That's a Saturday, and it's going to be at 1 p.m. So if you're interested, keep that date in mind, because, boy, we would love to have your participation. Looking at some of our regular activities, they're also in your program on the back. We have 2 book studies. We have one that meets in the foyer on Tuesday morning, and they're having a new book called The Grass is Greener Right Here by David Alt. And so you can be at the beginning of that, but you can join any of the book readings at any time. The Wednesday morning book club is on Wednesday morning on Zoom, and that one is in the middle of going through Quantum Healing by Deepak Chopra. You can join that one at any time as well. Just get the Zoom link from the office. Again, the talent show is May the 18th. It's at 6 p.m. It's in Richelieu Hall, and boy, do you ever want to come and see this and enjoy the tremendous variety of talent that we have to offer at this center. It's free, and it's open to all. Our Science of Mind classes continue on Sunday morning. They begin at 10:15 before the service, and they're over at 10:45. So it's sort of like early church if you want to come at 10:15 to do that. Be sure and browse our bookstore if you haven't recently, because we've got some wonderful new titles there. Finally, we have such a wonderful number of volunteers. We're asking for more all the time, but the ones we have, I'm telling you, they impress me so much with their energy, their showing upness, and their ability to help us move this church along. Thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do. Yes, it's worth that applause, and I thank you. Now, the last thing I am doing, I'm actually stepping into a slightly different role. Today, our speaker is Reverend Gregory Toole. And I'm going to share with you a few things about his background that you may or may not know. And currently, he is the senior minister at Antelope Valley and at Bakersfield, CSL, both here in California. He has served in 6 different Centers for Spiritual Living communities as their interim minister. He's trained other ministers in the art and science of interim ministry. In this work, he's facilitated healing, reconciliation, and renewal by aiding communities in navigating transitions consciously for the purpose of long-term health. Gregory served for 6 years at the management for Centers for Spiritual Living at their home office. He was also president of Homes Institute once upon a time. That's part of our ministry teaching. Prior to his stint at home office, he served for 5 years as the senior minister at Centers for Spiritual Living in Davis, California. His early career was in the computer industry, where he started as a software developer and then moved into marketing and business development. Wow, right? What a great background. His teaching is grounded in the idea that each person has great power to transform his or her life. He has taught thousands of students around the world through his classes, individual coaching, writing, and speaking engagements. He is an author of the book, A Simple Guide to Planetary Transformation. And finally, just a little credential. He holds a master's degree in management from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Yes. And a master's degree in consciousness from Holmes Institute. He is not coming up at this moment because we are introducing our meditation music as a transition. And then Reverend Gregory will step up here for our invocation. And I know that we are all blessed as we begin our music.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
Let us turn within. What a beautiful song. Every thought is a prayer. So let us align our thoughts this morning. Let's align our thoughts with that divine impulsion within each one of us that is wanting to express something beautiful, something amazing right here and right now. And so this morning, we recognize the truth of who we are. We let go of appearances. We let go of old stories. And we come into full awareness right here and right now that God is my very life and being. That I am a unique emanation of that one divine Spirit. We breathe that in this morning. We feel into that. We know that with all of our being. That however I've defined myself so far, anything that I have said or think or believe that is other than that I am the infinite, I am the divine, uniquely expressing right here on earth is not the truth. And so we remember that the truth is, God is, I am, and all is well. In this awareness, I just bless our proceedings today, our sacred event, our sacred coming together this morning. I know that something amazing is happening here. Something is opening for each one of us. Something is expanding for each one of us. Something that is no longer serving us as being dissolved. Something that is wanting to be born is already taking root right here this morning. I bless the service, giving thanks, knowing it is so amazing already, giving thanks for all that unfolds. It is perfect. I am grateful. I let it be, and so it is.
good morning. So happy to see you. All right, and we're so happy to have Reverend Gregory Toole with us today. And so, yay, can't wait to hear you, right? His topic is letting go and being in the flow of life. So for a brief intro to those thoughts, what does Ernest Holmes have to say about this? In Living the Science of Mind, incidentally, the book we're using in the before class, which I love, one essay describes waterfalls in Colorado. And with just the mention of that, we can imagine them gushing through the mountains. Tremendous force. But also, what happens as they go downstream a little? There are some rocks and boulders, and they start to fill their borders. And so that's also what happens with us at times. We're an outlet for spirit to flow through us. And we may allow it, but what stops it? Our doubts, our fears, our efforts to control situations. So how can we release these and let spirit flow through instead? How do we know when we're in that flow? Neuroscientists are aware of an actual state of flow where they note high focus, low self-awareness, and speeding of subjective time, which I love. There are increased beta and gamma waves generated in the brain that indicate greater alertness, greater concentration. So to begin, it may help to recognize certain feelings that let us know when we're out of it. These may be a tip-off: feeling irritable, losing interest, perhaps thinking nothing is quite right, or simply feeling exhausted. And if we find ourselves feeling any of those things, how can we move back into that flow? So for one thing, we can focus on all that's going well in our lives, those relationships we have that are loving, the health we have within our bodies, the abundance that supports us, the beauty and goodness that we see around us right here, and especially in the month of May. We can also begin to create certain goals to reach our desires, recognizing our resistance as we move toward them, but still beginning to implement small changes from one day to the next. And so habits and routines that we gradually build allow us to grow as long as we trust and also have patience with ourselves. As always, dropping more often into our spiritual practices allows us to feel that settling in of spirit within, where we feel grounded, secure, and certain, especially in meditation and prayer. And eventually we begin to see evidence that we're back in it. One event easily flows into the next. We see synchronicities happen. We focus on those desires that became our goals without drama, without roadblocks. New opportunities arise, and even new people enter our lives, further enriching everything we do. So most of all, we come into a sense of knowing that this path is ours to take. So please affirm with me, I open to the flow of life. Very good, and so it is. All right. So next we have a song, Rick. Thank you.
Standing at the crossroads, trying to read the signs. Tell me which way I should go to find the answer. And all the time I know, plant your love and let it go. Let it grow, let it grow. Let it blossom, let it flow. In the sun, the rain, the check out of my mind, trying hard to find a friend that I can count on. There's nothing left to show. Plant your love and let it grow. Let it grow, let it grow. Let it blossom, let it flow. In the sun, the rain, the snow. Love is lovely. Let it flow. Let it grow. Time is getting shorter. There's much for you to do. Only ask and you will get what you are needing. The rest is up to you. Plant your love and let it grow. Let it grow, let it grow. Let it blossom, let it flow. In the sun, the rain, the snow. Love is lovely. Let it grow, let it grow. Let it blossom, let it flow. In the sun, the rain, the snow. Love is lovely. Let it grow.
Thank you, Rick, and thank you, Andy. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, let's give them some more love. Hello, how is everyone? So good to be here. So good to see all of you. So good. You know, I've been watching your services in the last few weeks online, and so it's kind of like a surreal experience to be on the other side of this now, you know, on the stage here instead of watching the stage. So good to be here with all of you. Had a really good time yesterday doing the workshop. Thank you so much for those that were so engaging in that workshop. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And just had a really good time with everyone. And I had the feeling as the closer it came to the time to give this talk, I had the feeling of coming together with friends I hadn't seen in a long time, right? And I had like 15 hours worth of material for you all. Because it was like, oh, you know, like when you haven't seen a friend in a long time and you get together and then you stay up all night talking because you got to catch up. And that's the feeling I had, even though most of us are just meeting for the first time. The feeling I had was of coming together with old friends I hadn't seen in a long time. And I so much I want to tell you about what's been happening. But I'll do just a 20-minute talk today. So good to be here. My talk title is Let Go, Let Infinity Flow. Let go, let infinity flow. And it comes from a Joel Goldsmith quote where he said, you must learn to let infinity flow out from you. You must learn to let infinity flow out from you, because we're often thinking our good is out there somewhere. And if I can only get to my good, and if I can only draw my good in from somewhere out there, wherever it is, then life will be so much better. But he reminds us in that quote that everything is really already within us. So goes on further to say that the bread that you cast upon the water is earmarked for return back to you. In other words, it's what you're putting out there that's just coming back to you. It's not like you're attracting something from out there. You are sending something forth from in you that then has no choice but to come back to you. Yes? Yes, yes, yes. Something is always moving in us. I like to ask that question of myself. What's moving in me? I want to ask you that question this morning. What's moving in you? You know, there's a impulsion of spirit that's always wanting to be something through you and through me. That's always wanting to express something. What's moving in you this morning? What's wanting greater expression? Maybe first is the let go part. What is something that is really time to release and let go of, to make room for the greater that wants to express in your life? What is it that it's time to release? And there's always, when we would do the visioning practice, I always would giggle because if there was one thing, in the visioning, there's like, what do you want to release? And what are you to become? And what are you to embody? And I always giggled because the part that if people said they didn't get anything, the part that they often didn't get anything for, which step would you say is the one that they don't get anything for? The release. You say, oh, what are you to release? And they go, oh, I didn't get anything for that. But I have to say that in the creative process, there's always a release. With the new, there's always the releasing of the old. There's always the letting go of something and making room for something new that wants to emerge. So what are you being called to let go of this morning? And then, what's moving in you? What is wanting greater expression? What has your heart been whispering to you? What has your heart been whispering to you to say, this is something that's yours. This is something that you are to express, because God is always moving in each one of us. God is always moving in even when it seems like nothing's happening. Anyone ever in that situation? You're praying for something, and you're like, I've been praying, but nothing seems to be happening. Well, something is always happening. God is always moving. There's a divine order, there's a divine activity always happening. I love, there was a woman when I was the senior minister. I was a fairly new minister, and I was a senior minister in Davis, California. And there was a woman named Barbara. And Barbara actually used to attend this church when Dr. Frank Richelieu was here. And so she brought me all these cassette tapes from long before I ever got here and didn't even really know about Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. She brought me all these cassette tapes from Dr. Frank Richelieu. And I think isn't that amazing that now I'm standing here, Yeah. What was also interesting about Barbara is one day she would sit out there in the audience, and I would be giving my talk, and I was a fairly new minister, and she would be taking copious notes. And as a new minister, that was very encouraging. I was like, okay, I must be on the right track. She's writing down my every word. Well, after a few weeks of this, she approached me after the service one day, and she said, you probably have noticed that I take a lot of notes while you're talking. And I said, yes, I have. I'm really happy about that. And she said, well, I want you to know I'm not writing down anything you say. Which was, not great for my ego. But it was really beautiful. Because what she said is, I'm not writing down anything you say. I'm writing down what the Spirit of God in me is saying while you're saying what you say. When you're in other words, she wasn't saying I wasn't doing anything. Thank you. Whew. She was saying what I am doing is creating a space and a container for her to listen into the presence of God within her. And to me, that's what all spiritual teachers, any good spiritual teacher, really is pointing us inward to ourselves. It's pointing us inward to tell us about our own magnificence. It is pointing us inward to say how amazing we are. So I want to tell you this morning, you are amazing. And I want to invite you to tell someone else in here, you are amazing. And then, just in case, just in case you don't know how to receive that properly, I've got a response for you to give as well. All right, so we're going to do this one more time where you tell someone you are amazing, and then I'm going to give you what your response is if you're on the receiving end of you are amazing. So your response is, it's true, thank you. We don't have to shirk away from being amazing. We don't have to be like, oh, well, you know, I'm just little old me. All right, so let's try this again. So you'll tell someone you're amazing, and when you're the receiving end, you're going to say, it's true, thank you. Yes. And if you're watching it on Facebook, if you're watching it online, tell someone in your household or go outside and tell them, you're amazing. It might surprise somebody. But we are amazing, and we are truly, not just in theory. It's not just in the science of mind teaching is not just theory. It's not philosophy. It's a very applied, practical teaching. So when we say you are a divine expression of God, the fullness of God, the infiniteness of God is right where you are, we really mean it. Does anyone know, there's all these books out there. There's like radical forgiveness, radical oneness, radical this, radical that. Does anyone know what they mean when they put radical in front of it? Like if they say radical forgiveness, does anyone know what that means? It means you actually do it. Radical forgiveness means you actually do it. I love that this is an applied, lived teaching. I love that when I came in and took the foundational class, that I had major shifts happen for me, and everyone in the class also had major shifts happen for them. So it wasn't just kind of like, oh, this is some really great philosophy. This was like, wow, I am watching, as you say here, right? Which we say at my center too. We're here to transform lives. We're here to see lives changed. So we see that. We witness people's lives being transformed right before our eyes, and we witness our own life being transformed right before our very eyes. I came in to the teaching. You heard my bio, so you know that I was in the computer industry. I had done an MBA, master's degree in business. I was on my path, right, to climbing the corporate ladder. And I was climbing that ladder well. And I came in to Science of Mind, and I woke up. After one class, I woke up, and I was like, what am I doing? Something in me was moving that I didn't even know. I didn't even notice that there was something greater that was wanting to happen through me because I was too busy following the rules and following what everyone else told me I ought to be, who I ought to be, what I ought to do. I was very good. I was a good boy. When I was a little kid, I was a good boy. I did whatever my parents told me to do. Got the good grades, did all of that. But I took that foundational class, and it became like, what do you want? What's moving in you? What wants to happen through you? You're a unique divine expression of God. You're not like anyone else, so how could anyone else tell you who you are to be? Don't want to scare anyone, and you don't try this at home. But I left that whole career 6 months after taking the foundation class. And when I left, the only thing that Spirit was revealing to me after many years of not listening, that's the problem when you don't listen for many years to Spirit, is, you may take a while before you can fully hear it. And so when I finally was listening, all I got was, you are to serve humanity in a greater way. which is good, but it's not so good when you go into your office to resign because, especially when you're in Silicon Valley and you're on the, everybody's on the fast track, and you go in and they go, oh, wow, you must have a great opportunity. What are you going to do? And so I told my boss at the time, I said, oh, I am going to go serve the world in a greater way. And he looked at me and he said, really concerned for me and really like sadness in his eyes, and he said, what have we done to you? And I said, no, it's okay. It's okay. Something has really shifted for me, and it's something really important, but I don't know what it is yet. But I know that this is done. I know that this is done, but I don't know what's next yet. So it was like that, the metaphor that came to me at that time was like setting out to sea on a journey and being in the middle of the sea where you look from where you came from and you can't see the shore that you came from. Because you can't go back. But I couldn't see the shore I was going to either. So I was out in the middle of the sea, and it was an interesting time in my life. And thankfully, I have a really good sense of humor. So I could laugh about it, because I had accumulated all, right? I had the house, I had the luxury car, I got the wife, I got all the things. And during that period, my luxury car got repossessed. And it was the most interesting time because there was so much joy in that time because there was something in me that knew that finally I was listening to my heart, which was connected to my soul, which was connected to the greater thing that Spirit wanted to do through me. And it really sustained me through that time. There was never a moment. There wasn't even a single moment where I said, maybe I better go back. It was so clear. There's something that Spirit is always wanting to do great in us. Sometimes we're retired or we finished our career or we feel we're already have achieved and we're just but Spirit is always trying to do something new through us. That's the nature of Spirit. And Ernest Holmes told us that evolution is always forward and never backward. Evolution is always forward and never backward. I went to ministerial school through the Agape campus when Agape was still part of Centers for Spiritual Living. And I had a class with Michael Beckwith, and I said to him one time in the class, I said, I think I'm really getting back into that groove of how I used to be when I was really in the flow, and he said, no. You're not getting back to anything. You're not getting back to anything. This is a whole new you that's emerging, something way greater than any of that. And that reminds me of that quote from Ernest Holmes, that evolution is always forward and never backward. You have a center here, Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living, with a rich history, right? You had Dr. Frank Richelieu, wow, amazing, right? You had Dr. Moira Fox, wow, amazing, right? And another irony, from the cassette tapes from Dr. Frank Richelieu, well, in 2005, I went to something called the Ministers' Ongoing Education Conference, which was like a week-long thing for ministers. And in that whole collection of ministers, they randomly, I'm going to put that in quotes, randomly pair up prayer partners. Well, guess who my prayer partner got to be back in 2005 at this conference? Dr. Moira. I got to meet Dr. Moira, and she was a few years into her ministry here, and I was brand new. I only was 1 year into my ministry, and there aren't a lot of people for me, if I go back 20 years, that I remember exactly when I met them and the circumstances and all of that. But with Dr. Moira, I totally remember that. I totally remember meeting her, what it felt like to be in her presence. I totally remember all of that. And whenever I would see her at a conference after that, she would always say, oh yeah, Reverend Gregory and I, we go way back. So you've got all this amazing history here, and one could think that maybe we got to return to that old glory that we once had. Let's get back to the old glory we once had as a center here. But Ernest Holmes said that evolution always goes forward and never backward. So what I know is that we are to be grateful for all who have come before. We are to rest on the shoulders and be grateful of all who have come before. And yet, there is something great that wants to happen here again, like this sanctuary being full, all of that, but it's not what it was before. It's not getting back to what it was before. It's getting to, we're not trying to recreate history. That's not what we're here for. That's not how God works through us. We're here to evolve. We're here to grow. We're here to step into newness. So we're not here to recreate history. We're here. Thank you. We're here to make history. We're here to make history. We're here to give our part to this, to say, okay, here's the next leg of the journey. Here's the next part of the story, and the parts of the story that came before don't go away, right? The legend of Dr. Frank Richelieu doesn't go away. The legend of Dr. Moira Fox doesn't go away. That's part of the legend still. That's part of the story, and yet there's a new part of the story. There's a new chapter. There's supposed to be a new chapter written. Yes? So good to be here with all of you. So good to, it was so beautiful yesterday, meeting with so many of you at the workshop and after, connecting, can really feel the love. It's a characteristic of Centers for Spiritual Living. I've had the opportunity to go to Centers for Spiritual Living all over the world, really, and it's a beautiful characteristic of our movement, this love and acceptance and embracing each other. When I first got into the teaching, I had moved from Philadelphia to Boston and then to California. And, so first of all, I came to California, so my family was already like, okay, he's a little out there. He's going to California. Because, especially at that time in Philadelphia, California, you may as well have gone to another planet if you go to California. So it's like, okay, he's a little out there. He's in California. Then I became a vegan, and they're like, oh, boy, he's really gone. Well, then I came into Centers for Spiritual Living, and they're like, whoo, forget it. But then I invited them to a service at the church. They came on a visit, and I invited them to a service, and they came to the service, and they said, wow, I never experienced so much love. And they were sold. And my mother, I would say, is probably the #1 reader of Science of Mind magazine. My mother starts every day, and my mother is a creature of habit. She starts every day reading the Science of Mind magazine. And if somehow through the mail, a delay or something, she doesn't get it, she calls me. I say, Mom, they have a number on there you can call. And she said, yeah, but you work for the organization, so they'll listen to you. I said, okay, Mom. So I call, and we get it taken care of. Spirit is always moving in you. Spirit is always moving in me, wanting to do something new, wanting to push forth from the edges of our being to move us into what is next in our personal and collective evolution. What we did yesterday was part of that. The workshop that we did, I really absolutely believe without a doubt that the work we were doing there is part of the evolution of humanity, right? That we're learning to speak to each other. We're learning to listen to each other. So much of the problems in the world would be solved if people would just listen. When people are in dispute, half of the time, if not more, they don't even know what the other party wants or believes or anything. They have never even heard the other party. They're so convinced of their own rightness. So we're here to evolve humanity through our own evolution. Every time you or I step into our own greater evolution, you become more peaceful, the planet just became more peaceful. You become more joyful, the planet just became more joyful. You become more loving, the planet just became more loving. That's how impactful we are. Sometimes we're walking around like we're powerless, We can't make a difference. And it's the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite. Every little step you take on your journey, you are making a huge difference. A huge difference. So the invitation that I have for you today is to really listen in. To really listen in. And first ask, what is it that I am to release and let go of that doesn't serve anymore? It might be a way of thinking. Maybe it's a way of thinking that you've outgrown. It's too rigid for you now. You're to let go of that way of thinking. Maybe it's someone you haven't forgiven and you're still holding a story against someone. You know, and the story, it's a good story. Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, right? And people will really listen to you and go, you don't agree with you, right? That's a good story. But is it serving you to keep talking that story? So what are you being called to release? And what are you being called to step into? And I wrote down some affirmations that may not be coming into my mind right now, so let's see if I have them on here. Let's do a few affirmations together if you're willing. Let's end with that. I trust how God expresses as me. Let's try that one more time. I trust how God expresses as me. I let infinity flow out from me. This now moment is full of possibility. I am a vehicle through which history is being made right here and right now. Thank you so much for participating, listening. You all are awesome. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings.
Think about it, there must be a higher love down in the heart or somewhere in the stars above. Without it, there is wasted time. Look inside your heart, I'll look inside mine. Things look so bad everywhere in this whole world. What is fair? We walk blind and we try to see, falling behind in what could be. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Whoa. Bring me a higher love. Where's that higher love I've been dreaming of? Worlds are turning and we're just hanging on, facing our fears and standing out there alone. A yearning, and it's real to me. There must be someone who has feelings for me. Things look so bad everywhere in this whole world. What is fair? We walk blind and we try to see, falling behind in what could be. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Whoa. Bring me a higher love. I can rise above on a higher love. I can't wait for it. the night alone. Bring it in. I could light the light up with my soul on fire. I could make the sunshine from pure desire. Let me feel that love come over me. Let me feel how strong it could be. Oh, bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Whoa. Bring me a higher love. 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 Whoa. Bring me a higher love. 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 Oh, bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Thank you. Bring that higher love.
Whew. I tell you what, again I say, if you look up the term hot potato, you're going to see Rick Parmley right in there. Thank you. I think we have raised the roof here today, would you say? Thank you, Reverend Gregory, for your inspirational talk, too. This is the time of our sharing of our gifts and our treasure. And I invite you today to feel this. Feel this. And when you feel this, don't you want this to stay? Don't you want this to grow? So support this beautiful center and know that we can just reach out to all kinds of things. And we appreciate your generosity as we say our affirmation today. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is. Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is. Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for believing, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is, God is all there is, all there Oh, man. All righty. Oops, I don't know about you, but I feel full. Do you feel full? Not full like hungry full, but full. So this is the time of our benediction, and I invite our practitioners and our ministers to come forward as we know together this prayer for our world. And our world starts right here. And if we go forward with the love and the inspiration and the joy that we feel right here and right now, and we take that out into the world, and we let go of whatever we need to let go of, and we let infinity flow through us, and know that the eyes that we look at everybody, the hands that we hold, everyone's, are the eyes of God looking back at us, the hands of God touching us and reminding us that we are here for love. So feel that Godness in you and know that truth and go spread that love out in the world. As we share our song, and stand please with me as we sing, Let There Be Peace on Earth.